Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Black Liz, you can call me Mary, and I talk all things Degrassi. On my Twitter account the other day, I asked my followers to give me ideas for a new Degrassi related video series where I discuss 5 things I dislike and 5 things I like about a character, relationship, family, seasons, episodes, anything. For these videos, I always get the dislikes out of the way first because I think that as much as we as a fandom love being negative about everything regarding the show 24/7, on the flip side, we should be talking about the positive things we enjoy about the series just as much. There are plenty of aspects of that Degrassi clearly failed on that deserve to be critiqued and called out. Those I'm not talking about. I'm talking about how the majority of the posts in like the Facebook groups or Reddit some days are all some variation of did anyone else hate insert character. The first topic for this video series that I got suggested is Season 10 of The Next Generation by my lovely longtime friend of fandom, Joe. We both share a deep love for the season that was a cultural reset for the series. 5 things I dislike about Season 10. Number 5, the election plot along with Sav and Anya's pointless 6th relationship. School election plot lines are honestly not Degrassi's strong suit. From the ridiculousness of Stephanie K allowing boys to kiss her to earn votes, to Trista Milligan somehow getting elected as school president after displaying blatant biphobia at a debate, nearly every plot centering on an election is either problematic, needlessly overdramatic, or just stupid. The Season 10 election is somehow all 3. In a desperate bid to steal votes from rival Sav Bandari because she knows a lot of people don't like her, Dolly Jay Sinclair convinces her best friend Anya McPherson, who recently broke up with Sav last season, to fake a pregnancy and make him look like a deadbeat dad. Anya goes along with this because, in her words, Sav deserves it for breaking her heart last summer, except it was more than that. Anya, beloved, Sav dumped you because you lied about being on birth control before you guys had sex in that limo, and that was a fucked up thing to do. You're just not taking accountability. The fact that her doing this is rarely called out by the fandom so everyone can just paint Sav as the sole problem in that relationship irritates me. It's low-key racist. On the other hand, Dolly Jay planning such a diabolical plot in the first place goes against that supposed growth the fandom keeps praising her for. As much as she regularly gets praised in the fandom as having some of the best development in the show, this storyline showed that the mean girl in her didn't leave just yet. Using your best friend's breakup as an opportunity to win an election by smearing lies against your opponent is foul, even if it is an accurate depiction of real-life politics.
Tell me something, Dolly Jay. Why do you want to be president?
Well, I like being in charge.
Same here.
Since when?
Might be time I gave it a try.
Well, it also looks good on a resume, especially if the Ivy League is in my future.
You're not the only one with a future.
You're right. It's just that my future doesn't involve teen fatherhood.
Well, yeah, that would just be weird. Wait, what?
I know, Sav. Anya told me.
Told you...
You're gonna have a lot on your plate next year being student council president and a dad.
Who said anything about being a dad?
You don't have to pretend anymore, sweetie. Anya told me she's pregnant.
Unsurprisingly, this doesn't work out for Dolly Jay. Anya backstabs her once again and sides with Sav when he believes the lie is actually willing to support her and her fake unborn baby. This isn't surprising because Dolly Jay has been treating Anya like shit and using her for her own opportunities of Anya getting her lick back in return has defined their dynamic since they first duetted in Season 7. They're a toxic as fuck friendship, and it makes no sense that they would be terribly in one episode and kiki with each other again 10 episodes later with no acknowledgement on Dolly Jay's part that she's a bad friend. They're one of the fakest friendships that ever formed on the show. Dolly Jay's friendship with Fiona and Anya's friendships with Mia, Leia, Shante, and especially Riley are all superior than Hanya.
You have to tell everyone the truth. Stop scoring the sympathy vote.
Can you believe it?
Benedict Arnold, you switched sides. If you don't come clean, I will.
And then I'll tell everyone it was your idea and Sav knew nothing about it.
You wouldn't dare.
I need to protect my family.
You don't have a family.
If anybody finds that out, you'll be in big trouble.
When Sav finds out, he's still mad but goes along with it because, I guess, and wins the election. Sonia pointlessly gets back together for 48 hours. Anya lies about having a miscarriage in Sav's first video as school president. They break up for good when Sav fails to stick up for Anya against his parents once more. And Holly, Jay, and Anya are in a bad spot as friends once again. It's all fucking stupid and shit we all watched before like 20 times. Recycle shit.
Truth is, Anya needed my French notes, and we came back here to get them. And she was just leaving, right?
We were making out.
Anya.
Sorry, Sav, no more lies. But don't worry, Mrs. Bandari, it will never happen again.
What's good about this plot? Well, we get the start of Holly Jay and Fiona's iconic friendship. Holly Jay truly gets humbled for the final time, and it lays the foundation for Savvy Jay, which is one of my favorite relationships in Degrassi.
Attention students,
Oh, and so is the principal.
I have the results of the election. And your new student president is, wow, surprise. By only 17 votes, Sav Bandari. Congratulations. Good job, good job.
Yes, we did it! I am so proud of you.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Lots of work to do, Sav, starting with procedures and practices.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Well, this is all your fault. Sav didn't win the election because people think I'm pregnant. He won because you think you're better than everyone.
That's not true.
You people like me. And why didn't they vote for you?
Number 4, Fatam. This one is unfortunate because it casts a bad light on what's otherwise one of the best aspects of Season 10, Fiona's storylines related to her lesbian identity and her alcoholism. For some added background for those who don't know, before Chasing Pavements aired, Fatam was a pretty popular crack ship in the fandom, and people, including me, shipped them together with Eclair. If you want concrete evidence, just read any Eclair fic written before this episode aired. After it was made clear that Fiona was a lesbian even while they actually did date in 10B, unsurprisingly the crack ship lost all of his supporters. Well, the ones with sense anyway. While Fiona's arc regarding her queerness and using alcohol to cope for trauma is one of the best queer storylines that Degrassi ever did, the way she treated Adam during these plots were bad. Flaking out on a party Adam threw for her at the last minute, lashing out at him because he set up an intervention for her drinking problem, using him being a trans boy to cope with her being a lesbian, and violating his boundaries in regards to his body and saying that he's the best of both worlds. Yikes. Of course, she didn't intend to hurt Adam because she was struggling with so much in regards towards her beach trial and realizing that she was gay. But after being bullied and hate crime for being trans, this was the last thing Adam needed to suffer from next, and they were ultimately ill-suited and incompatible for each other. This storyline was important for Fiona realizing that she was a gay girl in love with her best friend Holly Jay. But this was incident number 2 and a tragedy that is Adam Taurus's really depressing love life. Thankfully, Fatam's relationship was short-lived.
You both. Because you're using me. I'm not. I want to be with you. No. You don't want me. Face it, Fiona, you want a girl.
Number 3, Dolly Jay's plot and love lockdown. To anyone who's watching that enjoys these two as a couple, look away. Despite their breakup and Troy honesty because Holly Jay felt that Declan was trying to control her, Declan returns in the second half of the season to try to win her back even though she's now dating Sav. Fiona actively encourages this behavior despite Holly Jay's insistence that she doesn't want to get back together with Declan. At a party the twins throw, he pressures her into having sex with him and she wakes up the next day feeling uncomfortable. She confides in Fiona, who tells Declan, and the episode has this whole thing where Holly Jay struggles on whether or not she considers this incident
Like,
rape or not.
Sex?
She ultimately reassures
Declan
Declan
have
that
done
it
that
isn't before he flies back to New York. Because they're both going to Yale
any
and
fault.
Declan sends her flowers a season later when she's in the hospital,
pressured.
the show leaves the door open that they may get back together someday. I'm sure me not liking this plotline isn't going to offend a lot of people because Love Lockdown is a very controversial episode among the fandom because of this Dolly Jay plot. In my opinion, he did rape her because Holly J during a sex scene said no multiple times. It was pretty frigid in her body language, but Declan didn't listen and kept kissing her until she gave in.
Declan?
He clearly didn't respect that she had a new boyfriend and felt entitled to have her in that moment.
What are you doing?
Holly J not considering
Oh,
it
wait.
rape at the end of the episode doesn't change anything because plenty of
can't just
people,
go.
especially young
here,
girls,
one
don't
complicated
recognize
life.
that they're victims of some form of sexual assault
running
until
away?
years
Yeah.
later. She was probably scared to admit to herself
I can stop hurting you.
to admit it to herself because of her and Declan's history.
Never have
I
to
think
see
it
me
was
again.
wrong on the show's part to quickly sweep this plot under the rug and later
be
force
so
a plot
easy.
where Savvy J breaks up temporarily, but Sav finds out about it and there's no conversation between him and Holly J about how she felt pressured into it. It's a horrible message to send to teenagers about how consent doesn't matter. There are some fans in the community who will act like this plot is just Declan being OOC and that he's still the best guy for Holly J. In my opinion, I disagree. Declan in his Dubois season literally locked Holly J in a room to pressure her into talking to him, was super pushy and controlling of all her goals and dreams, and then started showing signs of being a financial abuser before they broke up. He was always a total fucking dick, and his behavior in this episode solidified him as one of the worst Degrassi characters in my opinion.
Okay. That's good. Do you hate me?
I regret what happened.
What can I do? How can I make it up to you?
I need time to figure out what happens now.
I want you in my life, Holly J.
I'm ready. I'll call.
That's a when, not an if, right? Well, either way, I'll be waiting.
Bye, Declan.
Bye, Holly J.
Hang on, 'cause the ribbon is slipping through your hands, and I'm falling into the earth.
Number 2, Dranka getting together despite Bianca's mistreatment of Adam. Earlier I talked about Adam and I'm going to talk about him again in another moment the show did him wrong. Let's talk about the very weird way that one of the most popular Degrassi ships of all time formed without thoroughly addressing this. Bianca and Adam flirt with each other in My Body is a Cage and it looks to be a promising relationship. Then she finds out that Adam is trans, rips his clothes open, calls him a freak, gets him jumped by her low-life best friends, shows no remorse about it the next day, calls friends to kill him, bullies him, and then calls him the T-slur. Drew scolds him for pursuing a girl like Bianca in the first place, only to accept an offer to get his dick sucked by her 7 episodes later. In their first season on Degrassi, unlike Adam, Drew was established as this dumbass, selfish player who, despite being in a relationship with Allie, was eager to cheat on her immediately. Almost immediately. But him picking Bianca of all people to cheat with after how she treated Adam establishes him as a terrible stepbrother too. Bianca herself wasn't bright in pursuing the brother of the guy she outed and got hate crimed. Does this incident that will ruin any prospect of a relationship in real life get addressed by the characters? No. In the second half of season 10, Drew goes out with Bianca because no other girl in school wants to deal with his cheating loser ass, and they fall in love. The only scene where Bianca sort of acknowledges her violent transphobia towards Adam is when she and Adam dance together at prom a season later, and she says that she was dumb for not dancing with him. And that's supposed to somehow be submission of proof that Bianca acknowledged that she was wrong and is a real LGBTQ ally now. Whatever. Dranka ended up being an amazing couple full of so much depth and chemistry. Their story arc from season 11 to 12 is one of the best Degrassi's ever done in relationship department. Despite them never saying as much to each other, we know that they were soulmates. Unfortunately, the Adam incident not being addressed properly is one of their most negative aspects. It's not, and with the way the majority fandom can't forgive Dave for his transphobia, even though he actively has scenes showing growth and taking accountability, I would think that the majority of people in the fandom would hate Bianca even more for the same reason, but they don't. Because Bianca is played by a pretty white girl and Dranka unexpectedly exploding in popularity despite their controversial beginning, the show, Drew, and the fandom easily forgave her for how she acted in My Body as a Cage, and Bianca ultimately doesn't face any real consequences for her nasty behavior.
I'm sorry for that stuff I said yesterday. It was my decision to take the shrooms and skip the game, not yours.
You done?
Yeah.
Good. Let's hang out.
Wait, you don't care about that?
You said a few stupid things while you were high. I'm not your judgy friends. So, are you coming? Unless you have a better offer.
I don't.
Number 1, Shante only getting one main plot and Marisol not being a main character or even so much a side character, just a punching bag. Is this one the absolute most offensive thing on this list compared to the other 4? No, but because I'm a black woman, this issue is going to stand out the most for me. If you have a problem with that and is going to complain in my comments about it, you can save time and watch something else. The misogynoir of how the black female characters on Degrassi were handled is a consistent issue that stains this series' legacy. Black female characters on Degrassi were regularly put in the villain roles, sidekick roles, punchlines, and pain as Jezebels looking to steal and hook up with other girls' boyfriends, sometimes all in the same damn episode while not getting a lot of depth or storylines compared to everyone else on the show. Degrassi wasn't that much kinder to the black male characters, but at least several of them actually got multiple plots. In Season 10, despite Shante being a senior like the rest of her fellow members of the class of 2011, she only has one plot despite this being her last school year. It's a good plot. Her protesting Simpson's decision to get rid of the clubs after the Vegas night disaster and being successful into persuading him to bring them back showed her as capable, resourceful, and smart. Shante is honestly the best cheerleading captain Degrassi ever had, in my opinion. But it's her only plot, and it's a side plot that most of the fandom overlooks. Shante has been on Degrassi since Season 4, and yet this and the episode where she gets Danny to dump Leia for her are the only serious storyline she gets. In other episodes in Season 10, she's just forced into this supporting character role in a proper storyline centering on non-black characters instead. She's paying as a bitch for not allowing Allie on the Power Squad, even though Allie didn't display the talent needed to be on a team, and she was just starved for popularity. Fiona and Dolly Jay slander her for being uncomfortable with how Declan is treating Dolly Jay like glorified trophy wife, and they joke about how she wouldn't know about a guy giving her nice things anyway. Did the writers forget that she was dating Danny? Probably so, because they didn't care about black girls. For someone who's on the show for a long time, like Spinner, Emma, Manny, Paige, Jimmy, etc., she deserved better.
Putting your faith in a bathroom stall complaints board. Kind of seems like a last-ditch attempt.
Might be all we've got left.
Marisol, on the other hand, doesn't get to do anything at all this entire season. Like Hazel in Season 1, Shante in Season 4, Keisha in Season 3, and Shay in Season 4, she's a side character just there to serve non-black characters' plot in a negative way. She's a beer for Riley at a football barbecue and gets disrespected by him. She's a center in relationship drama for Casey and Jenna, gets self-shamed by Jenna during the plot. She's an obstacle for Drew and Allie's romance storyline and gets pain as a stupid pick-me. She's shown in Love Lockdown as shallow and more concerned about having a boyfriend than fighting for the clubs to come back. And when Love takes over, Adam considers her talented enough to be the lead actress in a play, only for Eli to quickly shoot that down. It's foul, it's awful, and it's disappointing because she could have been so much more in season 10. She somehow gets depicted a lot worse in season 11, but at least there she has more of a character. In this season, she's just a punching bag constantly used to prop up other characters. Why couldn't we see a more in-depth reason as to why she feels she can't think for herself in a relationship? Why couldn't she be the girl that Drew dated and cheated, and we see her deciding to move past shallow jock boyfriends? Since their older brother allowed her to give his football helmet to Casey for him to borrow, why couldn't we see a genuine episode establishing a relationship? Sav and Allie and Drew and Adam didn't need to be the only siblings at Degrassi that season. Since Adam was about to cast her as a lead actress because she put on a great audition, why couldn't she be Adam's love interest instead of Fiona? It's frustrating how I can come up with a million ways to handle this character better than the show did. As everyone who knows me by now can attest, I love Marisol and writing her in my fix, making fan videos of her, and overall appreciating the good things she did get to do in the show brings me joy. But the way she was treated in season 10 disgusts me. Since she was introduced in the same season as Eli, Adam, Drew, and Bianca, she could have been just as big as they were. Instead, the show lazily chose good old-fashioned misogynoir like they've been so good at encouraging beforehand. It's one of the things the writers were talented at.
What about Anya for the play?
No, too cheerful.
We've auditioned 10 girls, not one as good as Marisol. Offered to resign, reinstated.
And again overruled.
Okay, now that all the main things I don't like about the season are out of the way, it's now time for me to talk about the 5 things I do like about season 10.